Intrusive thoughts aren't new. People have been dealing with them for thousands of years. Native Americans have created medicine wheel teachings to help people understand these thoughts, recognize them, and combat them. We define these thoughts as those that bring fear. This could range from simple anxiety and regret to full-blown panic attacks. We call them fear feeders because they seem to feed on our fear. The more we think this way, the more fearful and anxious we become. Sometimes it can be obvious what's triggered us. Other times it can be very difficult to pinpoint the root cause. If one allows these thoughts to continue unchecked, it can lead to a variety of issues. We may become hypervigilant, stagnant and stuck in our comfort zone, or even afraid to speak up for ourselves. If you find yourself reliving an event repeatedly that brings you regret or anxiety, like a time you wish you had a snappier comeback, you may be allowing your fear feeder voices to have control. Our internal dialogue can remind us of important tasks, help us to feel confident, or it can beat us up with every bad decision we've ever made. The medicine wheel that shows us the key to identifying these intrusive thoughts starts in the south. That's the direction of our emotions. It identifies our fears. We may be focused on failure or being judged and ridiculed. Our fears frequently hold us back from living the life we'd like. If your thoughts are centered on events that bring about fear, either in the past or the future, you're dealing with a potentially intrusive thought. If you can take this fear, identify the source, and combat it with logic and wisdom, you've made a big step toward conquering this fear. The Southwest stands for interpretations on the medicine wheel. On the fear feeders wheel, it stands for I don't know how. Our fear of failure tricks us into believing that we don't know how to do something. If you've ever talked yourself out of doing something because you were afraid of failure, you've dealt with this fear feeder voice. We may not be experts, but we do know how to educate ourselves on just about any topic, particularly with the internet, or how to find an expert that can help us. Many people focus on their lack of knowledge and forget that they may have access to someone with the needed know-how or the ability to teach them what they need to know. They just need a little more confidence. Overcoming this hurdle can put intrusive thoughts of helplessness to rest. The physical world is represented by the West on the medicine wheel. It's very common to be stressed about making ends meet, taking care of our family, and meeting the demands of work. We may think we aren't able to do things the way they need to be done. It's hard to let go of this feeling. It takes internal discipline to control our thoughts. Our elders taught the young ones about the fear feeders, but they also told them about the internal children, adults, and elders. Our internal adults are the ones that pay the bills, remind us of what's on the grocery list, and make sure our world is running smoothly. We're all familiar with those internal voices. We also have internal children who want to explore life and learn new things. As adults, we've learned to ignore them. This is one of the reasons that so many people are depressed today. They haven't taken the time to listen to and honor their internal children. If you keep thinking about places you'd like to visit, things you want to learn, and experiences you hope to have someday, your inner children may be fueling your intrusive thoughts. We also have internal elders. These wise elders are directly connected to the Great Spirit. They only know love and forgiveness. When we're overwhelmed by intrusive thoughts, the way to silence them is to listen to your inner elders. These are the most perfect parents you could ever imagine. It's only through their loving voice that we're able to silence the thoughts that feed on our fears. It's normal to have intrusive thoughts. Some people are more disciplined and can control them better. Others are at their mercy. It's possible to be more disciplined in your thinking, but it's a never-ending process. If we learn to recognize the fear feeder voices in our head, they become more stealthy. They disguise themselves in ways that make it more difficult to detect. We may think we're simply being cautious or recognizing our limitations. Phrases like, "I would if I could," "I don't understand," "It's too hard," "I'll do it later," and "I'm too tired," can be pure and sincere, or they could be a clever disguise hiding these fears. If you can't seem to put it out of your head, I would suggest you strongly consider these intrusive thoughts to be from your fear feeder voice. If you can't silence these by focusing on the voice of your inner elders and it interferes with your quality of life, a good counselor might be in order. Some intrusive thoughts are born out of a traumatic past, and this can require some professional help to unravel. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to learn more, please subscribe to my channel. And if you hit that bell, it will notify you whenever new videos come out. Otherwise, it's a gamble. And if you really want to learn more about the Medicine Wheel teachings, please follow me on Patreon, where I can give more personal medicine wheels that I can't share here. Thank you again.